Sanctum, sanctum, sanctum. It's all everyone is talking about whenever you hear, oh, how are you making currency? Why are the prices of divines skyrocketing more and more every day? And the answer is always, Sanctum's given too much currency. Sanctum's given too much divines. Is there truth to it? Well, yeah. Actually, Sanctum is incredibly strong. And the way people are doing it, I have learned over the past couple days, and I have been running Sanctum, and now I feel comfortable enough making a video telling people exactly how people are doing it. Now, the key is in the relics. If you don't know much about Sanctum, when you start a Sanctum, you will get a box or a small inventory of relics you can put in to make yourself stronger for that specific run. Now, the difference is some make you stronger, some make seeing things on the map and getting certain items for a run a whole lot more likely, as well as some relics making it so that failing is a lot harder to do. Now, with especially the last set of relics that I will go over in this video, it is not going to matter what your build is. It doesn't matter if you're melee. Now, I'm melee. I'm cast on Great Ice Spear. I do so much damage, it doesn't really matter that much. But even if you're melee, there is a set of relics, and I'm going to talk about, that you will still be able to do the Sanctum pretty much every single time, no matter what your damage is, and as long as you aren't getting one shot by like normal mobs, which means, you know, super squishy, you'll be able to do it. So what are the relics? Well, I went through a very natural progression of getting the relics, and when I looked up the progression as far as pricing is concerned, surprise, surprise, the cheapest ones are what I started with, the most expensive ones are the ones I ended on. So we can go through the step-by-step of the relics I used to get to a point where I can do it every single time very easily and very profitably. Alright, so I already did a very quick overview Sanctum video. I will put that at the end of the video and show you it here. Go and watch that after this if you've never done Sanctum before. If you don't know the basics, it's a good quick little rundown of how to start doing Sanctum. So when you first start doing Sanctum and you go to the relic altar and you put your forbidden tome in there, you will see a relic altar spot right here for your relics. Now I will show you the ones I am currently using, and they are going to change as you go along, depending on the ones either you find or the ones you purchase, because remember, these are now tradable. Now, you see these circles right here. These two are permanent, but you will see circles around the other spots, a couple other spots on the rugs when you first start out. They unlock by completing certain rooms, so you will just open them up over time. These two stay. There's, I think, 3 or 4 other ones that will eventually just unlock. You can hover over them when they are there, and it'll tell you, you know, unlock by completing this specific room. So you can always keep an eye out for that on the relic or on the Sanctum run to try and get those out of the way, because more space, more room for relics really is the name of the game. You want to get every available spot. So what did I start with as far as relics? Well, I started with ones that looked like this. Gain Resolve when you kill a boss, and gain Inspiration at the start of the Sanctum. Now, Resolve is your main life bar. Inspiration is kind of like your armor, okay? The Inspiration doesn't regenerate. There's no fountains that, you know, refill your Inspiration. It's just kind of icing on the cake to build Inspiration. This is really good because at the end of a floor, you know, you might have, you know, 150 Resolve. You get a handful of these. You know, you say you have 100 resolve, you kill the boss just barely, does some damage to you, you get a ton back. Okay, you get like 4 or 5 of these, you're talking, you know, 100 plus resolve, and then you also get some inspiration at the very start of the Sanctum that does not refresh during the floor as you move through the floors, but the start of the Sanctum, it helps a lot just to give you a little bit leeway. Now, you can get it with just the gain resolve when you kill a boss, but they are not too pricey just for the ones with resolve when you kill a boss and the inspiration to start Sanctum. These are the ones I started with. I found these, I didn't buy these, but luckily when I looked them up, they are relatively cheap. So it makes sense that I found a decent amount of these in the first amount of Sanctums that I ran. So once I got some currency, and some of you already have currency, you can skip this and start, once you unlock spots, starts going to the better stuff. I went towards the tried and true method of Gain inspiration when you receive an affliction. Now, you're going to get afflictions. You are going to get quite a few of them throughout the Sanctum. There are paths that make it so you cannot avoid getting an affliction. You have to pick one. And every time that happens, you will get inspiration. You can get them with a second mod, Monster's Impact, Reduce Resolve. But these are what I started using after. Now, you can notice these are bigger. These are big boys. They take up 4 slots. They would take 4 slots horizontally or 4 slots vertically. It could take a lot. You could fit 3 or 4 of these. Especially these, you could fit 4 of these. And it is super helpful. As you can see, I'm still using 2 of these. Gain 12 inspiration when you receive an affliction. 12 inspiration when you receive an affliction. These can go lower and they can go all the way up to 15. I think 12 is a sweet spot. Don't get one that gives you like 6 inspiration, because then you even use 2, you're just getting 12. That's maybe 1 free hit every time you get an affliction. And on the later floors, it's not even that. So that was my natural progression. These are the next ones that I used. You can see they're about 50 to 60 chaos, 70 chaos, 20 maximum resolve when you kill a boss. This one is a block one. I don't suggest using these. I suggest going with these ones, and if you don't want to use these, you could fit a couple of the candlestick ones in. Now, once you start getting into the bigger money, and this is one of the 2 strategies that people are using to make a ton of currency, and that is an additional room is revealed on the Sanctum, and it is a twofer, which means you can fit a lot of them on your relic page. What this is going to do, and I believe I have a couple, I'm only using 2, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. You will be able to see extra spots on the map. So you can see I'm using 2, so it does this. Now, this is good for a couple reasons. Obviously, if you stack a ton of them, a lot of the map is revealed. You can see the rewards a little bit easier. The offers item on completion. So that is incredibly helpful. And another way it helps, if you notice, you can see 1 fewer room ahead of the Sanctum. If you watch my other video, you know this one is terrible. You want to avoid this one. Anything that can make it so you cannot see farther ahead of you, and we'll go real in depth about that in a minute, is absolutely bad. So now I know if I see some good rewards down here, do not take these 2 right here, because if you notice, that's going to force me to take this. I want to prioritize staying at least kind of high so I can go right above this. That is why they are helpful. You can see rewards, you can avoid bad afflictions, and you can plan your route accordingly. Also, quick note, you can get these additional rooms revealed. You could get them in a horizontal too. It doesn't really matter too much. I think you could fit the exact same 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2 horizontally. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that would work. 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, so 2's a mixture of 2's and 3's. You can go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then a couple vertical, or another, or 3 vertical or 1 vertical. So those you could get those 2 different forms, just like most other relics. Alright, so you want to play with the big boys. You want to know the best relics for making currency. They are, without a doubt, the merchant has 2 additional choices. Now, as you can see, the price of these reflects that, and they have actually gone down in the last 12 hours quite a bit. And again, it is early afternoon here. So, you know, the prices fluctuate sometimes when more people are on at night. So that could have something to do with it. But these were on average 4 to 5 divines. Now it looks like they are going for a little bit cheaper. But like I said, as you notice the progression, you know, these are 180.8 divine for the additional room. These are the big boys. I've tried all 4 of these, especially these 2, the room ones and the merchant ones, and these are the kings. Now you will notice on my relics that I only have 2. You can fit up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, I believe, to get 3 additional choices. That is because you can get these in these 3 horizontal, and you can also get them 3 vertical, which means you can get 6, which means 12 choices, which means 2 main things, okay? The first is you can hunt early with the merchant either a scry crystal or, best possible best case scenario in the beginning, an all-seeing eye. I've talked about how important it is to see ahead of the map so you can make educated decisions on where you go next. And the all-seeing eye, which reveals the entire map, everything about it, is obviously the best, but the scry crystal is also incredibly powerful. And to use an example just for the scry crystal, how much having one extra forward level of seeing really works is in this scenario. Now this is floor 1, this is a small map, so it's not the best example, but this will have to do. You can see that once I pick this room, if I go up here, I am shoehorned into everything up here. I can go here, here. There's no way to make it down here until about down here. Then I can eventually get down here, but I miss out on this. Vice versa. If I go down here, and I would not because you can see one fewer room ahead, so I would not take this. Not to mention it's floor 1. Floor 1 and floor 2 do not have the best rewards. You are going to want to really prioritize getting ready for floor 3, floor 4, where you can get divine and even mirror as a reward. But you could see, but if I had a scry crystal here, you could see I would be able to see one ahead, so I would see all of this. So before I am even forced to go down this path, I will be able to see all 5 of these. Whereas in this, I would not be able to currently once I pick it up. So there are a ton of scenarios that come up like this, where the scry crystal is the difference between, forcing yourself into one direction or being able to see the whole thing. And once you get to floor like 3 and 4, there will be like 7 or 8 of these blocks that you will be able to see all of them before you really commit to a certain direction. It is incredibly helpful. Now, the second reason that these merchant relics are so powerful is they snowball so damn hard. It's absolutely crazy. Last night I did a run by like the beginning of like floor 3. I had like 450 resolve and like 500 inspiration just from the afflictions. Give you inspiration when you get them, as well as buying items, because you are going to get, with all of these options in the shop, if you save up some coins in the beginning, you are going to get things that give inspiration, maximum resolve. You're going to do more damage. The enemies are going to do less damage. That you can get things that half the price of the merchant. You have things that double the amount of coins that drop. Now keep in mind, this also means there are some afflictions added to the pool of a void. Chests no longer drop coins is a bad one. The merchant offers 50% less choices. The merchant only offers one choice. These will hurt your run. Now, they won't technically brick the run like certain things like unable to see rewards or unable to see afflictions normally would, but it still is not good if you are running these merchant relics. But they snowball very hard. You are going to get very strong, and these make it so no matter what your build is, good at Sanctum or not, you are going to be able to snowball to the point. Doesn't matter if you're melee, doesn't mean if you don't do a ton of damage. The only thing that's going to matter is you aren't getting 1 or 2 shot on your regular health bar, because your resolve and inspiration, as long as you are relatively okay at the Sanctum, you could be terrible, and I still feel like these merchant things, as long as you're saving coins, are incredibly helpful, and they are going to get you through the Sanctum. So that was the natural progression that I took with getting the relics, and as you can see, they go up step by step in price. I think this is a solid strategy if you don't have a whole lot of currency saved up for how you could start farming relics. These are 0.8 divine now. These seem to be going down, which is awesome. They are very helpful, and yeah, Sanctum is super good right now for currency. It's all I ran last night. I had a blast, especially with the merchant relics. It is super fun to just be able to buy everything and be super strong and not have to worry about failing the Sanctum. Yeah, it's great. So if you aren't followed over on twitch.tv/safeontalk, go over, shoot a follow. I am going to be streaming a lot and running mostly Sanctums probably for the next couple days, so I can answer questions. I'm sure there's some stuff I missed. I'm sure there's people that are better at this, or know a better strategy, or have opinions on either additional rooms are revealed, or the merchant things, or a mixture of both. Let me know in the comments. I'm not saying that this is the end-all be-all, but I'm saying this is how most people are making above average currency, and it's really great. On a final note, I think the line is area level 80 or 81. I'm running 81 because that is when as I know that, at least without having to run 83s. It gives you the Awakened Sextant rewards, and it ups the number of currencies, so I highly suggest at least doing an area level 81. It might be 80. I tried to Google it, and I haven't tested it, but it's at least item level, tome level 81 that you can start getting those rewards. So I suggest doing that. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps me a ton. You guys are the best, whether you watch me live or you just like this video. It helps a lot. And I will see you guys next time.